mule, a plow, and a tater patch, eggs that are gonna hatch someday. I got the Lord above and a good girl to love me. I'm the richest man in the world.
Thank you, Lord above, for smiling down on me. I'm richer now than any man has any right to be.
All right, so we just have a couple of things to cover again. So again, during the show, please don't take any photographs. We had some people down here last night that took some flash photography, and some of our guys that were doing somersaults really hurt themselves. So, and we just actually finished burying them. So don't do that again today. So real quick, exits over here and in the back. Please turn off your cell phones. Just turn them off, unless you're a doctor or somebody like really important like that. Vibrate is a noise. Hey, we have open seats down front here. Come on down front. It's not church. Just move on down, and we'll just come in there. So, you guys got it? There you go. Boom. We're ready. We're good. Let's close the doors. We are ready for some major entertainment tonight. Today, what time is it? Thank you. About 6:30, right? Where's Mikey at? You missed that one, Mike. Okay, so here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, let's please welcome our hosts, the Southern Gateway Chorus.
I woke up singing this morning, got out of the right side of bed. What a morning! I woke up singing this morning and wondering what was ahead. What's ahead? I took a good look at the sun, and was I the luckiest one? Lucky one. It's a most unusual day. Feel like throwing my worries away. As an old native-born Californian would say, it's a most unusual day. There's a most unusual sky, not a sign of a cloud passing by. And if we want to sing, let the harmonies ring. It's a most unusual day. There are people meeting people. There is sunshine everywhere. There are people greeting people, and a feeling of spring in the air. In the air, it's a most unusual time. We keep feeling the temperature climb. And if we don't behave in the usual way, why, there's only one thing to say. It's a most unusual day. What a day. We meet people, lovely people, have good friends most everywhere, meeting people like you people brings a feeling we just can't compare. It's a most unusual time. We keep feeling the temperature climb. And if we don't behave in the usual way, why, there's only one thing to say. It's a most unusual, truly remarkable. What an unusual day. What a day. What a day. What an unusual day.
All right, great rehearsal, guys. I think we're ready to go for the contest on Friday. You know, I'd like to thank Marty for the great idea coming out here to the mountains tonight for rehearsal. Yeah, I think being out here and seeing the sunset in this beautiful desert setting has really helped us connect to our music. And getting away from the hustle and bustle of Las Vegas has helped a lot too.
That's right, and remember to stay hydrated out in this dry climate. Keep those water bottles handy, and don't wait until you're too thirsty to take a drink, because by then it's too late.
Hey, I think we've got time for one more. I'll let you guys decide. What'll it be?
How about Old Man River?
Hey, what about Stars and Stripes?
Hey, guys. I think being out here in this magnificent setting and this beautiful day with all my good singing buddies, it's a great time for us to remember how blessed we all are. So what do you say? Let's wrap this thing up and let's sing Richest Man in the World.
All right, Richest Man It Is, with choreo.
All right, we got a pitch.
I got a humpback mule, a bow, and a tater patch eggs that are gonna hatch someday. I got the Lord above and a good girl to love me. I'm the richest man in the world.
Thank you, Lord above, for smiling down on me. I'm richer now than any man has any right to be. Health and love and happiness have been my cup of tea. The richest man in all creation surely envies me.
I got a humpback mule, a bow, and a tater patch eggs that are gonna hatch someday. I got the Lord above and a good girl to love me. I'm the richest man in the world.
I got water in my well and heaven in my heart. I've got the perfect woman I can trust when we're apart. Cash enough to see a show and eat out now and then. A roof, a bed, a fishing pole, and folks who call me friend.
I got a humpback mule, a bow, and a tater patch eggs that are gonna hatch someday. I got the Lord above and a good girl to love me. I'm the richest man in the world.
I don't have much cash on hand, my bank account is small. But tell me, what are riches but contentment after all? People say that I am poor, but I don't think it's so. For when I count my blessings, I'm the richest man I know.
I got a humpback mule, a bow, and a tater patch eggs that are gonna hatch someday. I got the Lord above and a good girl to love me. I'm the richest man in the world.
Well, the rich folks talk about the grub they eat. Well, I've got all of those rich folks beat. I've got a whole field of yellow yams.
And smoked house filled with country ham.
Talk to me about caviar, nothing but fish eggs packed in a jar. I got a whole pond, a great big trout.
Fish eggs? What are you talking about?
Got no fancy swimming pool. The creek in the woods is nice and cool. I'm a lucky man, a wealthy man.
I'm lucky, I'm wealthy, I got a humpback mule, a bow, and a tater patch eggs that are gonna hatch someday. I got the Lord above and a good girl to love me. I'm the richest man in the world. I got a humpback mule, a bow, and a tater patch eggs that are gonna hatch someday. I got the Lord above and a good girl to love me. I'm the richest man, yes sirree, in all of the world.
Good work, guys. It's time to get back on the buses. Try to get back on the same bus you came on. We don't want to leave anybody stranded out in the desert all night long.
All right, Dave, follow me.
Okay, Marty, according to the GPS, we should turn left up here at this next dirt road.
GPS? We don't need no stinking GPS. I made very specific mental notes on how we got up here. And in fact, I know a shortcut that'll take off about 20 minutes.
I don't know, man. If I were you, I'd trust technology.
Wait a minute. Are you saying your phone there knows directions better than me, Captain Compass?
Well, in a word, yes. Look, I just don't want to get us all lost.
All right. We'll just see who knows better, me or little Miss Know-It-All there. And besides, there's no way we're going to get lost.
2 hours later.
Okay, we're lost. Get on that contraption of yours and find our way out of here.
No can do, Kimosabe. We're out of cell range, and you can't get any satellite service in the middle of the desert.
Oh, great. What are we going to do now?
Well, they say when you find yourself in a hole, the first thing to do is stop digging.
Stop, right here in the middle of the desert. Okay, if you say so.
Hey, what's going on? Why are we stopped?
Because Captain Compass over here refused to use the GPS and got us lost.
Awesome. Nice work, Marty. All right, well, there's no reason to panic. Let's just keep our heads here. Let's just get all the guys off the buses, and we'll tell them what the situation is, and we'll figure out a plan.
All right, you heard the guy. Off the bus. Come on, let's go.
Boy, I sure hope this is a restroom break. They keep telling us to drink all that water to stay hydrated. But we need to dehydrate every once in a while, too.
All right, guys, we've got some bad news and some good news. The bad news is we're lost.
Oh, great. What's the good news?
Well, the good news is there's 50 of us, so we're going to be okay. Now we need 4 groups of guys to head out in 4 different directions and try to find something out here. We'll flash the bus headlights every 10 minutes so you can find your way back. Just don't go out of range of sight.
Yeah, and there's no cell phone coverage out here either, so we're going to have to find somebody with a landline.
Or maybe just a good old-fashioned map.
Well, I'm taking one group. Hopefully, we can find an open service station or a restaurant with a restroom. If you're coming with me, let's go.
And let's see, how about Dutch and Jeff O'Donohue and Doug Lazar? You guys each get a group of guys to head out in the other directions. If you find something, come back and get the rest of us. All right? Now, good luck, guys.
Okay, guys, let's go this way.
This is gonna be great.
What's so great about being out in the desert in the middle of the night?
Are you kidding? For starters, look at that moon. It's full, and it's beautiful, and it makes everything beautiful. I like taking walks in the moonlight. It reminds me of all the wonderful places I've been and memories of people that I love.
Moonlight brings memories of you. I remember yesterday when we were so in love. I remember nights in May, the moonlight beamed above. Yes, I recall the lovely way you smiled. Now all that I can say is moonlight brings memories, sweet, tender memories. They were sweet because my love was yours, and you were mine. Oh, I miss the nights we knew. So now when day is through, moonlight brings memories, sweet memories of you. The moonlight above, how I miss
Hey, guys, any luck?
No, not really. We did find an old abandoned motel and roadside service station, but they looked like they'd been boarded up for years. Some of the guys stayed to check out the motel. We checked out the service station.
Were you able to find a bathroom?
Oh, we found one all right. But not only did it not help, it actually made things worse.
How's that?
Oh, by rubbing salt in the wound with those 4 seemingly harmless but infuriating little words.
Sorry, I'm just not following you.
Well, let me explain.
Some people greet you with a sunny smile and say to you, have a nice day. And I find myself thinking all the while, I wish that they'd just go away, far away. Have a nice day, have a nice day, be happy and smile all your troubles away. I'll scream if I hear one more person say, have a nice day.
Well,
Got on my bike, thought I'd do a good turn for my body and old mother. There wasn't a path, so I rode in the street. I was pedaling for all I was worth. I got honked at, cussed at, spattered with mud. Dog bit twice and knocked off the road. The guy didn't even stop to see if I was dead, but a little yellow face on his bumper said, have a nice day, have a nice day, be happy and smile all your troubles away. I'll scream if I hear one more person say, have a nice day.
well,
Got on a bench just to answer the phone. This is MasterCard calling, she said. I said, thanks, but no thanks. She said, apply anyway, just to help me get ahead. So after I'd gotten the 3rd degree, she asked, what's your occupation? A musician, said she. That's the worst kind of credit risk. My. I'm sorry, my dear, you just don't qualify. Have a nice day, be happy and smile all your troubles away. I'll scream if I hear one more person say, have a nice day.
well,
Out on the freeway, nowhere to get off, and no place in the world I could stop. And wouldn't you know, man, I had to go so bad I thought sure I would pop. Well, 20 miles, 30 miles roll on by till a little roadside pumping station met my eye. An oasis in the desert, the answer to my prayers, and the sign on the door said, closed for repair. Have a nice day, be happy and smile all your troubles away. I'll scream if I hear one more person say, have a nice day. Ba-da-ba-da-da, drop dead.
Okay, guys, looks like we're gonna have to stay here for the night. Let's have guys stand watch in pairs for a couple hours at a time, just in case any of the others come back with help. In the meantime, the rest of us should try to get some shut-eye. Marty, since you're the one that got us into this mess, how about you take the first shift with Zach?
You know, Jeff's right. This is all my fault. If I'd have just listened to you and your GPS.
Don't be so hard on yourself, Marty. Everybody makes mistakes. Besides, technology can be pretty intimidating for some people.
Doesn't seem to be for you. You're a whiz with that thing.
Thanks, but it just takes some time. Here, check it out. You can't really get any cell service out here, but you can doodle around a little bit.
Wow, this is pretty cool. Don't you worry about becoming too reliant on this thing? I mean, I know some people that freak out and become totally non-functional without their cell phone.
I mean, like anything else, too much is definitely not good. Have you seen that new movie, Her?
Oh, the one about the guy who falls in love with the operating system on his phone. No, I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, don't. It'll give you nightmares.
Okay, thanks. But in the meantime, how do we get our way out of here?
That's easy. Sun rises in the east. In the morning, when it comes up, we head towards it, east to Las Vegas.
That's a great idea. I wish I'd have thought of that. Thanks, man.
Sure thing, Captain Compass. I'm gonna go keep watch on the other side.
This thing is pretty amazing. But, you know, I need to stop being so stubborn and get in the 21st century. I mean, if I wouldn't have got my friends all in this giant mess. I mean, maybe it's time for Captain Compass to realize he doesn't always have to have all the answers. I thought I did what's right. I thought I had the answers. I thought I chose the surest road, but that road brought me here. So I put up a fight and told you how to help me. Now just when I had given up, the truth is coming clear. You know so much better than I, for you know the way. And I let go the need to know why, for you know better than
If this has been a test, I cannot see the reason, but maybe knowing I don't know is part of getting through. I tried to do what's best, and faith has made it easy to see the best thing I can do is put my trust in you. You know so much better than I, for you know the way. And I let go the need to know why, for you know better than I saw one cloud
guys, guess what we found?
Well, it better be good. I just fell asleep when you came screeching in here.
Well, it's not just something good. It's something great.
Well, what is it?
Well, you see, we came across this old hotel with an old gas station next door, so we split up, and my guys checked out the hotel. And guess what we found?
What is it?
Beds. Portable beds. And they're hauling them back now as we speak.
Did you hear that, guys? Our boys went out and found us some rollaway beds.
All right. Well, praise the Lord and pass the blankets. This ground out here is killing my back.
I know my prayers have been answered. As the good book says, ask and ye shall receive.
And your cares will melt away like an iceberg in the desert.
When I'm down, when I'm down and down, when my heart is full of tears, when I lift up my head, then he lifts up my heart, and my troubles just all roll away. Roll away, roll away, roll away, roll away, roll away, roll away, roll away. When I lift up my head, then he lifts up my heart, and my troubles just all roll away. Now I can see the sun with my head to the ground, the tears dim my vision and weigh my heart down. But I found the secret when I knelt to pray, and I lift up my head, then he lifts up my heart, and my troubles just all roll away. Roll away, 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 roll away. When I lift up my head, he lifts up my heart, and my troubles just all roll away. Roll away, roll away, roll away, roll away, roll away, roll away, roll away. When I lift up my head, he lifts up my heart, and my troubles just all roll away, roll away. My troubles just all roll away.
Excuse me, fellas. Hey. Hello?
What?
Where's the rest of them?
The rest of what?
The beds. Where are the rest of the beds?
Oh, well, there's only 6 of them. This is it.
Do you mean to tell me that you woke us up and got us all excited about beds for yourselves?
Oops. Guess I wasn't thinking. Sorry about that.
Well, thanks a lot. But if I were you, I would be definitely sure to say my prayers before I went to sleep tonight. And speaking of sleeping, I need to get some shut-eye, and you need to shut up.
Okay. Gonslow?
Yeah?
I'm wide awake. I can't fall asleep.
Practice your contest choreography. That'll put anybody to sleep.
Very funny. But seriously, what do you do when you can't fall asleep?
I pray.
You pray?
Yeah, I pray.
About what?
About whatever's bothering you.
Well, what if what's bothering me is I don't know what to pray about?
Russell.
Yes, Gonzalo?
Shut up.
Okay.
Sweet hour of prayer, sweet hour of prayer that calls me from
night, Gonzalo.
Good night. Good night, Jeff.
Good night. Good night, PK.
Good night. Good night, David.
Good night. Good night, Alan.
Good night. Good night, Russ.
Good night. Good night, John Boy. I like that. Pretty good. Good night, John Boy.
Russell?
Yeah.
Shut up.
Okay.
We're back.
Oh, all right. Great. Did you find anyone?
We sure did, but not who you might think.
Well, as long as they can help us get out of here, I don't care if you found Jimmy Hoffa. How did you know? Know what?
That we found Jimmy Hoffa.
No.
That's right, fellas. That's right. Now, what I want to know is who's responsible for you guys finding me? All those stinking years roaming around in this desert, and you finally found me. Thank you.
Oh,
thanks.
My pleasure, I think.
Yeah? From now on, I'm very indebted to you, and I'm going to make sure my boys take good care of you.
Ooh, take care of me?
Oh, not like that, you lugnut. I'm serious. I mean, all these years, and you finally saved me.
That's a good point. All these years, you must be like in your 90s?
I don't know. What year is it?
2014, sir.
I'm 101.
Wow. You look pretty good for being that old.
Well, it's kind of like old car parts, you know. This dry climate sort of keeps the rust down to a minimum. But no, I'm serious. You boys get me back to civilization, you'll never have another financial difficulty the rest of your life. Yep, you get me back home and we're gonna be back in business.
Oh, just let the good times roll, let the good times roll, just let them roll, let them roll. The good times roll, let them roll, let the good times roll. Oh, yesterday it seemed the song was about to end. It looked as though we'd had our last year. Yesterday December waited around the bend. Well, my friend, spring is here. We're back in business, and ain't it grand? We're gonna let those good times roll, let them roll. Well, yesterday things were out of hand, but now they're under control. We're saying bye-bye blues, so long adversity, happiness, hello, hello. We're gonna keep the status quo. We'll keep it permanently so. And we're back in business and overnight. You know we're in demand. Well, all right, for the business is just dynamite. Let the good times roll, let 'em roll, let 'em roll. Let the good times roll, let the good times roll. Yesterday it seemed we never would smile again. No matter what we venture or have. Looked as though the fun was over, but who knew when? That was then. This is now. We're back in business, and ain't it grand? We're gonna let the good times roll, let 'em roll. Well, yesterday things were really out of hand, but now they're under control, and we're back to normal, back to usual. Let the fun resume, let the fun resume, and there'll be no more doom and gloom, no more bust. Only boom, well, we're back again like a boomerang. It's the same old stand, it's the same old gang. We're back in business with a bang. Let the good times roll, let 'em roll, let 'em roll. We're back in business once again. We're back in business again. Again, once again, let the good times roll once again.
Hey, everybody, you are never going to believe who we ran into.
Guys, it's Elvis!
he is.
What did he say?
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Elvis, how did you get lost out here?
Well, I had just finished the late show at Caesar's Palace and decided to go out for a double Whopper with cheese. I was a hungry hunk of burning love, so I picked up my hound dog, my teddy bear, who was my good luck charm. But it was very late, and I couldn't find a Burger King that was open. So I pulled over to the curb and asked a hard-headed woman for directions. She said to me, "Are you lonesome tonight? If you don't be cruel and love me tender, I'll take you to a 24-hour McDonald's where we can share a Happy Meal without creating suspicious minds." Well, I was all shook up. I said, "You're the devil in disguise. I wouldn't trade my double Whopper with cheese for a Happy Meal if I was standing in the ghetto in the cold Kentucky rain. It's now or never, little sister." She walked away and left me like I was crying in the chapel in the Heartbreak Hotel. So I drove off into the desert in search of a sandwich, and all I got was the sand.
Long time no see, Elvis. You're looking good.
Thank you, Jimmy. Nice shoes.
Custom concrete. I'll have my boys make set for you if you want.
Well, he's right. You'd be about, what, 80 years old now? How do you keep looking so good?
Well, I think it's kind of like old car parts. The dry climate keeps the rust to a minimum.
We've heard.
Now, these boys tell me that you all are a bunch of singers. I haven't heard any good music in a very long time. What kind of music do y'all sing?
Well, we sing all kinds of stuff. Blues, gospel, barbershop, whatever you like.
In fact, why don't you join us for a song?
Well, that would be mighty awesome. After being in the desert for 40 years with only the coyotes, they sing in tune all right, but all they do is, "Ooh!" Do you know any good old-time rock and roll?
Are you familiar with Who Put the Bump?
Am I familiar with Who Put the Bump? Is my jumpsuit too tight? Barry Mann, 1961, right in my wheelhouse.
Okay, you heard the man. Elvis is in the building. Take it away, King.
I'd like to thank the guy who wrote the song that made my baby fall in love with me. Thank you. Thank you very much.
1, 2.
Who put the bump in the bump, a bump, a bump? Who put the ram in the ram-a-lam-a-ding-dong? Who put the bop in the bop, she-bop, she-bop? Who put the dip in the dip-de-dip-de-dip? Who was that man? I'd like to shake his hand. He made my baby fall in love with me. When my baby heard bump, 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 every word went right into her heart. And when she heard them singing, ram-a-lam-a-lam-a-lam-a-lam-a-ding-dong, she said we'd never have to part. So who was that man? I'd like to shake his hand. He made my baby fall in love with me. Yeah, each time that we're alone, booty, 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 shoo, sets my baby's heart all aglow. And every time we dance to dip-de-dip-de-dip, dip-de-dip-de-dip, she always says she loves me so. So made my baby fall in love with me. Yeah.
Darling, boom, ba boom, ba boom, boom, boom. And my little honey, ram-a-lamma ding-dong forever. And if I say dip-de-dip-de-dip, you can believe it to the bottom of my boogity-boogity blue suede shoes.
Who was that man? I'd like to shake his hand. He made my baby fall in love with me. Yeah. He made my baby fall in love with me.
Hey, great, you guys are still up. We've been looking all over for you.
And you'll never guess who we ran into in the desert out there. Never guess.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me present to you the original Amelia Earhart.
Hello, boys. Oh, it's good to see you. As a matter of fact, it's good to see anyone after all this time.
Wow. Amelia Earhart, you've been gone since 1937. That's over 75 years ago.
And you know, for as old as you are, you certainly look, you look good. Yeah. Well, thank you. You're so kind. You'll have to excuse the facial hair. As you understand, it's been quite some time since I've had my lip and chin waxed. But other than that, I feel marvelous. It's kind of like with old car parts.
Trying to keep the rust down to a minimum.
So you're telling me you really haven't seen anything or anybody for all this time?
You know, you gentlemen are the first humans I've seen since I crashed. I frequently run into the aliens that live out in the Nevada desert, a UFO, an old car now and then, and just yesterday, while bathing in Lake Tahoe, I surfaced right next to the Loch Ness Monster.
Wow, Miss Earhart, everyone thought you died in that crash. You must be so happy to be alive so you can go fly again.
Oh, I am truly happy. But it has absolutely nothing, not a zippo, to do with being able to fly. In fact, it's the one thing I do look forward to whenever it is that I do finally die. This soul yearns to finally be released from the bonds of this body, zhish, and fly.
You know, if I was Rehearsal, I'm pretty sure I would feel the same way.
Some glad morning when my life is o'er, I'll fly away to a home on God's celestial shore. I'll fly away, fly away. I'll fly away, oh glory, I'll fly away. When I die, hallelujah, by and by, I'll fly away. When the shadows of my life have grown, I'll fly away. Like a bird from prison bars has flown, I'll fly away, fly away. I'll fly away, oh glory, I'll fly away. When I die, hallelujah, by and by, I'll fly away.
Fly away, I'll fly away, I'll fly away, I'll fly away, I'll fly away.
Just a few more weary days and then I'll fly away to a place where joy will never end. I'll fly away.
I'll fly away, oh glory, I'll fly away. When I die, hallelujah, by and by, I'll fly away. I'll fly away, oh glory, I'll fly away. When I die,
You know, it will be great to get back to civilization. I'll bet there's been tremendous advancements in aircraft. And I'm going to sit there on one of those observation decks just for hours, watching the new planes take off and land.
And I'd like to get back to my work with organized labor. Well, I'll bet by now almost every American's a member of the AFL and CIO.
Yeah, I bet it is. Uh-huh.
You know what I'd like to do when I get back? I'm gonna go to the closest Burger King and I'm gonna order one of everything on the menu. After 40 years of cactus and berries, I'm gonna sit down to a meal of just burgers and fries and wash it all down with a 64-ounce Dr. Pepper. Viva Las Vegas!
Whoa, big fella. Things have changed a lot since you've been gone. Fast food restaurants now have to serve healthy stuff, like fruit, yogurt, granola.
Grow what?
Yeah, New York even tried to pass a law outlawing large sugary drinks.
Why, that's un-American.
And as far as watching planes take off, only ticketed passengers are allowed at the gates now. It's because of a bunch of crazies that hijacked some jets and flew them into buildings in D.C. and Washington, New York.
You mean people actually used airplanes to intentionally harm other people? What a ghastly use of such a wonderful technology.
And organized labor isn't nearly as powerful as when you disappeared. In fact, the auto industry is being overrun by the Germans, the Japanese, and even the Koreans. And they all have factories right here in the U.S.
You mean Americans are buying cars made by Koreans? Unbelievable.
Hey. The important thing is that you guys can come back with us to civilization and rejoin the rest of the world.
Yeah, not bad.
I mean, how awesome is this? We knew we were going to be lost out here with the stars, but we didn't know it was going to be that kind of stars.
Before Lord God made the sea and the land, He held all the stars in the palm of His hand, and they ran through His fingers like grains of sand, and one little star fell alone. Then the Lord God hunted through the wide night air for the little dark star on the wind down there, and He stated and promised He'd take special care so it wouldn't get lost no more. Now a man don't mind if the star grows dim and the clouds blow over and darken him, so long as the Lord God's watching over them, keeping track how it all goes on. Now I've been walking through the night and the day till my eyes get weary and my head turns gray, and sometimes it seems maybe God's gone away, forgetting the promise that we heard Him say. And we're lost out here with the stars, little stars, big stars.
Thank you very much.
guys, it's time to head them up and move them out.
Are you guys sure you know how to get us out of here?
Absolutely. We head east toward the sunrise. Once we get within satellite range, we'll let the GPS take us the rest of the way.
And this time, I'm gonna follow her instructions.
Okay, great. Hey, has anybody seen our guests?
Hey, guys, I went to look for Jimmy, Elvis, and Amelia, and all I found was this note.
Well, what's it say, dummy?
It says, Dear Chorus, thank you so much for your hospitality and for finding us after all these years. We appreciate your generous offer to return to Vegas with you, but after hearing what the world was like now, we all decided we prefer to stay out here in the desert. Now that we have met, we will hang out together and trade memories about the good old days. We might even see if the aliens would consider taking us back with them whenever they head back. Good luck in your competition, and thanks again for everything. P.S. Don't bother telling anyone you found us out here. They'll never believe you.
After all this time, and they don't want to come back. What are we going to do now?
Hey, the world's gotten along without them just fine all this time. We'll get along without them this time.
Oh, time. That reminds me. We're going to stump the band time.
All right, fine.
All right.
Go ahead.
Who sang Time Waits for No One?
Ambrosia. Who sang Time Keeps Flowing Like a River?
Alan Parsons Project. About time keeps on slipping, slipping, slipping.
No. Steve Miller Band. And of course, who can forget Lennon and McCartney? Oh, blah dee, oh, blah da, life goes on, brah.
La la, how the life goes on. Ding, 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 ding,
Desmond has a barrow in the marketplace. Molly is a singer in the band. Desmond says to Molly, girl, I like your face. And Molly says this as she takes him by the hand.
Oh, blah-dee-doo, oh, blah-da-doo, life goes on. Blah-la-la-la, the life goes on. Oh, blah-dee-doo, oh, blah-da-doo, life goes on. Blah-la-la-la, the life goes on.
Desmond takes a taxi to the jeweler store, buys a 20-carat golden ring, takes it back to Molly standing at the door, and as he gives it to her, she begins to sing.
Oh, blah-dee-doo, oh, blah-da-doo, life goes on. Blah-la-la-la, the life goes on. Oh, blah-dee-doo, oh, blah-da-doo, life goes on. Blah-la-la-la, the life goes on. In a couple of years, they will build a home, sweet home. A couple of kids running in the yard of Desmond and Molly. Desmond and Molly's yard.
Peter in the marketplace. Desmond lets the children lend a hand. Molly stays at home and does her pretty face, and
in the evening she still sings it with the band. Oh, blah-dee-doo, oh, blah-da-doo, the life goes on. It goes on. Oh, blah-dee-doo, oh, blah-da-doo, the life goes on. Oh, blah-dee-doo, oh, blah-da-doo, life goes on. The life goes on. It goes on. Oh, blah-dee-doo, oh, blah-da-doo, life goes on. How the life goes on and on and on.
45 years in the desert, Elvis would have been just a little thinner. All right. All right, so real quick, we got a couple things before we send you out to intermission. So we're going to do like 10 minutes out there and come back because we know who's up after intermission, right? Yeah, Vocal Spectrum, we're waiting to hear that. So there's door prize cards to fill out, so please fill those out because we got some great door prizes to give away. There's actually two raffles, there are actually three things going on. One of the great things that they do down here at Cincinnati and actually all the barbershoppers here in Cincinnati is support the Harmony Festival, which is sending a lot of our youth to just spend a week in barbershop and really start building that next generation. There's one here that it's a $25 donation or a $25 gift card from Kroger's, and that'll enter you in for 4 tickets to the Cardinals versus the Reds game, and that's in May 25th. And we want to go there because we want to beat St. Louis because I just hate St. Louis. All right, so we just got to beat St. Louis. All right. So there's that one to enter, and there's also another one that's $1 for each ticket or 6 for $5. Now, don't be alarmed. This is on July the 12th, and we're playing the Pittsburgh Pirates. I know there's a lot of controversy about names in the NFL and everything, but this isn't one of them. This is just a misspelling. Public school. Okay, so, but on the back, actually, don't get upset. I'm actually surprised some of you got that. No, I'm just kidding. I went to Princeton. Come on, I'm amazed I even recognized it. So, on the back here is where you fill out for the 6 tickets and turn that in. So there's 2 chances, and there's a 50-50 going, and we'll give that away at intermission. And finally, I just want to, it wasn't in the program, but just to talk about that Jimmy Hoffa was played by Jim Fry, all right? And Elvis was Mike Bell, didn't recognize him, and Amelia Earhart was actually for real. So, was played by Tom Rouse. So, all right, so we're gonna go out, 10 minutes on an intermission, come back in, and we'll get the second half started. Thank you very much. All right, just thank you very much. We're going to get Vocal Spectrum out here, but I wanted to thank you for your contributions. We'll have the drawing for the 50-50 for Harmony Festival, but that is June the 18th through the 21st, and Debbie Cleveland and Nick Gordon are going to be the directors. Great couple people there. GQ and Instant Classic are the teaching quartets, and it's a great time for us to send youths to there to spend a week learning barbershop, singing tags, and that kind of thing. And you can also sponsor a child. It costs about $250 to send one child to the camp for the whole week. So if you think about that, it's just a great thing to do. If you buy the tickets out there for the Reds games or do the 50-50, something like that, all that goes to that. And also, guys, Tuesday night, man, chorus is singing well, having fun. Tuesday night, they rehearse down at Harmony Lodge, down off of Mitchell Avenue. It's a fun time. You ought to come out and do that. So let's close the doors, and we're ready for our guest quartet here. You know, a lot of quartets, you know, the hardest thing is picking out a name, and sometimes it takes time to live up to that name. But this one, right out of the chute, had it right away. The name, you know, when you think about Spectrum, Spectrum is really talking about the whole collection, the whole, all the different types of light that come together. And when you get all those together, it really winds up being white. And white is such a pure light. And when you think about it in a vocal sense, they put all those sounds and all those notes and all those ranges together to put together just an amazing sound, almost a pure sound. So let's bring out, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Vocal Spectrum.
I saw a peanut stand, heard a rubber band. I saw a needle that winked its eye. I'd be done seen about everything when I see an elephant fly in the sky. I saw a front porch swing, heard a diamond ring. I saw a polka dot railroad tie. Oh my! But I'd be done seen about everything when I see an elephant fly. I even heard a chocolate drop. I went into a store and saw a bicycle shop. You can't deny the things you see, but I know there's certain things that just can't be. The other day by chance saw an old barn dance, and I just laughed till I thought I'd die. I'd be done seen about everything when I see an elephant fly in the I saw a close horse, she'd reared up in wide. I know a man who made a vegetable truck. You can't deny the things you see, but I know there's certain things that just can't be. You know they just can't be. I saw a peanut stand, heard a rubber band. I saw a needle that winked its eye, But I'd be done seen about everything when I see an elephant fly. When I see an elephant fly way up high, now I think I will have seen most everything. When I see an elephant fly.
Thank you very much. It's great to be here with you this afternoon in Cincinnati. That was a really amazing introduction by the MC, with an amazing definition of our name. I wish that I could tell you guys that that's exactly how we came up with that name. It's not true. In fact, we've never told anybody this, but it seems appropriate considering that very long intro based on the word spectrum. But literally, we were in college driving around, and we're like, man, we're going to this contest. We should probably come up with a name. And then a dump truck drove by with the word Spectrum on it. And we're like, oh, that's good.
It's true. Spectrum Trash Company.
Spectrum Trash Company. And you guys are the only ones to know that's exactly true. So there you have it. So it's really great. So this is like our second time to be here with you guys in the last couple years, which is really fun for us. It's not terribly far for us. We're from St. Louis, Missouri, just up the road. Hoping we can rub a little bit of that St. Louis magic on your baseball team here. I'll help you guys out a little bit. But it's good. So the next song we'd like to do for you this afternoon is a song that we did when we were competing in the International Barbershop Contest, which for those of you who don't know what that is, basically every year around 8,000 barbershoppers all convene in whatever city's hosting that year. It turned out to be in 2006, was in Indianapolis. And so over the course of 3 rounds, over the course of the week, the top 50 quartets that have qualified to be there all kind of duke it out over 3 rounds to be crowned that year's international champion, which if you win, you're not eligible to compete ever again. So it's kind of a stressful, big thing. And so we, out of the total 3 rounds, possible points you can win, if you did everything perfect, you can get 9,000 total points. We beat the second place quartet by 6 points in the smallest contest in history. And we do like to think that this is kind of the song that gave us that little edge to push us over the top to win that thing. And so it's the reason that we wear these medals around our neck. And I don't tell you guys that to brag. I really don't. We just get tired of telling people after the show, no, the 4 of us are not all diabetic. So Better than last night, I'll say that much. But very good. We do hope that you guys enjoyed. It's from a very famous musical I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen before called My Fair Lady. This song is called On the Street Where You Live.
Darling, there's a tree you run to when it starts to rain. See the way it's filled with blue stars, fragrant bloom. And isn't there a garland all around that window pane that could only be your room? This street is like a garden, and your door a garden gate. What a lovely place to wait, to wait. What a lovely place to wait. Down this street before, but the pavement always stayed beneath my feet before. All at once am I, several stories high, knowing I'm on the street where you are there lilac trees in the heart of town? Can you hear a lark in any other part of town? Does enchantment pour out of every door? No, it's just on the street where you live, where you live. And oh, the towering feeling, just to know somehow you are near, so near that overpowering feeling that any second you may suddenly appear. People stop and stare. They don't bother me, for there's nowhere else on earth that I would rather be. Let the time go by. I won't care if I can be here on the street where you live. I don't care if I can be on the street where you live. jungle, they're ready to rumble. But me, I'm down and out, 'cause there is one thing that I've got to gripe about. Now I'm the king of the swingers, I'm the jungle VIP. Well, I reached the top and had to stop, and that's what's bothering me. Well, I wanna be a man cub and stroll right into town and be just like the other men. I'm tired of monkeying around. Oh, ooby-doo, yeah, I wanna be like you. Oh, I wanna walk like you, talk like you. To me, you'll see it's true. An ape like me, can learn to be human too. Yes, it's true. I can learn to be human too. I know it's true. I wanna stand up and walk around. I'm just a big hairy ape, and my knuckles drag the ground. Don't you try to keep me bent up. I made a deal with you. What I desire is man's red fire to make my dream come true. Now give me the secret, man cub. Come on and clue me what to do. Now give me the power of man's red flower so I can be like you. Oh, I wanna be like you. I'll walk like you and talk like you too. I do. You'll see it's true. You know it's true. An ape like me, can learn to be human too. Yeah, I say ooby-doo. Wanna be like you. Walk like you. Talk like you too. You know it's true. An ape like me, can learn to be human too. Oh, ooby-doo. Wanna be like you. I wanna walk like you, talk like you. I do. Come, let's do a plan. I know that can walk and talk just like a man. Yes, I can. Stroll right into town just like a man. That's my plan. Walk and talk. Yes, I can. Listen, here's my plan. Just give me a hand. I know I can. I'll walk around like a man. I wanna be just like a man.
Thank you very much. We got some, like a grandma in one of the front rows. If you're like my grandma, you probably have a tissue in your purse. Could I have one? I'm being serious. Don't make this awkward, like I'm being serious. So I see someone digging around. Ronnie, can you get one? I have banana all over my hand, and I really don't want to sing the rest of the show with nasty banana. Oh, thank you. That looks, appreciate it. Clean one would have been nicer, but thank you very much. Thank you. We'll take what we can get. So, sir, you threw it back at us. That happens from time to time. This theater's awesome because we have like this long buffer to see it coming. Like sometimes like the front of the stage stops right here and like the front row's right where the speaker is, and with the lights you can't see anything. I'll just get like smacked right in the head with the banana. It's like hits me right in the head. So I appreciate you not throwing it that hard. Thank you very much. We're gonna do a song now that was going to feature our tenor, a man by the name of Mr. Tim Warwick. Now, for those of you who you got one fan right here in the front. Those of you who don't know who Tim is, what Tim does, like his role in our group up here, he's the guy that's been singing those nice, long, pretty high notes that you've been hearing thus far this afternoon. It's going to be a big problem for us when he finally hits that stage they call puberty, folks. That's true. So we are all from St. Louis, but Tim originally hails from the city of Philadelphia. His family is there. still, and so in our travels every once in a while we get to that part of the country. And the last time we were there, we were having dinner with his family, and his mom was telling us this story about how when she was pregnant with Tim, she was just really, really excited, and his dad really, really wanted a boy, and his mom really, really wanted a girl. And now they're both just so happy. So there you have it, right? Boom. Like that. So there it is. So, today actually happens to be Tim's birthday, like no lie. So, yeah, very good. So, we've been singing together for 10 years actually, which is pretty nuts. We got together 10 years ago to get ready for this college contest that they had back when we were all in college. And so we picked up this song like any other young new group picks up a song. They sing whatever like the popular groups at the time are singing, and this happened to be one of those songs. And we did it without ever having the intention to be singing it 10 years later, but we haven't been able to put it down, even though it's easy for me to joke about, Tim on it. The truth is he does just do such an amazing job with it. It's impossible for us to put it down. It's a really relevant song in today's time from another very famous musical written in the late 80s and early 90s called Les Miserables. So we'd like to feature Mr. Tim Warwick on a song from that musical entitled Bring Him Home.
He's like the sun I might have known if God had granted me a son. The summers die one by one, how soon they fly on and on, and I am old and will be gone. Bring him peace, bring him joy. He is young, so very young. He is only a boy. You can take, you can give. Let him be. Let him live. If I die, let me die. Let him live. Bring him home.
Thank you, music lovers. That concludes the classical portion of the afternoon for you all. So, in fact, we only have one more song that we're going to do for you this afternoon. But before we go, I do want to speak to one thing because I found it to be just so amazing. So I know that this is probably hard for you to believe, sitting where you are looking at me, but by just the youthful handsomeness that I exude from the microphone. But I happen to be the oldest guy in the group. And so for so long, so many of those milestones that you reach just kind of naturally, usually with age, I kind of hit first. So like, for instance, I was the first guy in the group to get married, and then I was the first guy in the group to have children, and so it was really exciting for me when my buddy Johnny over here to my left got married and welcomed it. Well, in fact, he now just recently welcomed his second child into the world, which was very exciting for them. Thank you, Jade. So sometimes people clap, sometimes they don't. Can get a little awkward. And the truth is, I don't really understand the clapping part about having children. I mean, it was a very easy process for me. But anyway, I was just really like amazed. So I have 2 girls now, but you know, especially your first one, you don't really know what to expect. I was freaking out. You know, you don't really know what it's going to be like, especially like on the night my first daughter was born. I remember just being so just shocked and overwhelmed with how so many different thoughts and ideas could be going through my head all at the same time, but how one could just stand out just so vividly among all the rest. And I guess it's a guy thing, because when I talked to Johnny, like he conveyed the same information to me when he was going through that process. Like the first time we held our daughters, you know, in our hands, like a minute after they're born, we just looked at them and thought, like, this is going to cost a lot of money. It's true. And so it wouldn't, you know, in light of that, it wouldn't be right to let you guys leave here today without at least letting you know we do have 4 different CDs for sale in the lobby after the show tonight. Tim also, I forgot last night to tell you that, to tell the audience, I won't forget today, Tim also has 2 of his own solo recordings, if you're into that sort of thing. So we have those out there for you. Right here, I can kind of see this theater, which is kind of nice. I can't pinpoint people individually, but I want to say this before we leave. Like right down here in the middle of the theater, we've heard somebody kind of cough all afternoon, and I at least, you know, think that you should know that one time I had a friend who died from a cough that sounded just like that. I did. I mean, he was in his neighbor's closet at the time, so it was, took a second there, but that's all right, you got it, very good. Hey, so, thank you guys so much for coming out this afternoon. Super fun time just to be able to be out here with you guys on a Sunday afternoon. So thank you guys so much for coming. We really do appreciate it. We're going to close our portion of the show with a song. Now, this is a song, so one of the things we're most proud of, I'd say I'm most proud of in the last 4 years or 10 years, is our ability to have produced 4 recordings, all jokes aside. And the newest one happened to be a Christmas CD, which we released in December, which is a good time to release a Christmas CD if you're thinking about doing that. But unfortunately, like for us, so much of the new music that we've learned in the last year and a half, we learned for that album. And so many of our favorite songs that we've learned are from that album. And so singing like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer in May can be a tad bit awkward. So we're not going to do that for you this afternoon, but there is a song on that recording that has come to mean a great deal to us. It's come to be our favorite song to perform live. And so with your blessing, we'd like to close our portion of this song, or this show, with a song from that Christmas album that doesn't necessarily happen to be a Christmas song. It just happens to be about a baby that was born at Christmas time. And so I'm sure it's a tune everybody in here knows. And so we do want to leave you saying thank you so much for being just such an amazing audience. Drive safely, and we look forward to talking with you after the show. Thank you guys very much.
Child is this who lay to rest on Mary's lap is sleeping, whom angels greet with anthems sweet, while shepherds watch are keeping. This is is Christ the King, whom shepherds guard and angels sing. Haste, haste to bring him, Lord, the babe, the Son of Mary. So bring him incense, bring him gold and myrrh. Bring gold and myrrh. Come, peasant king. Come, peasant king. Come to own him. To own him. The King of kings. King of kings. Salvation bring. Salvation bring. Let loving hearts enthrone him. This is Christ. This is Christ the King, whom shepherds guard and angels sing. Haste, haste to bring him, Lord, the babe, the Son of Mary. The babe, the Son of Mary. The babe, the Son. The babe, the Son. The babe, the Son. The babe, the Son of God. The Son of God.
All right, another tissue ball. Okay, here we go. So, does anybody know what today or what this year is? It's the 75th anniversary for? Which leads me into, if I only had a brain, no, it's the 75th anniversary of The Wizard of Oz, and to celebrate that, our host, Southern Gateway, has a special treat for us. Let's welcome back to the stage the Southern Gateway Chorus.
I'm a simple guy, some say I'm not so smart. I could be happy with my life if I could win your heart. a star and wake up where the clouds are far behind me, behind me. Where troubles melt like lemon drops away above the chimney tops. That's where you'll find me, somewhere over the rainbow. Bluebirds fly, birds fly over the rainbow. Why? Then oh why can't I? If happy little bluebirds fly beyond the rainbow, why, oh why can't I? Then why, oh why Oh, there's a story we all know from long, long ago. Oh, once there was a wicked witch in the merry old land of Oz. And wickeder, wickeder, wickeder witch there never, ever, ever was. She filled the folks in Munchkin land with terror and with dread, till one fine day a house fell on her head, her pointy head, and the coroner pronounced her dead. And through the town the joyous news was spread. How it spread! Ding dong, the witch is dead. Witch, oh witch, that wicked old witch. Ding dong, the wicked witch is dead, most sincerely dead. Wake up, you sleepy head, rub your eyes and get out of bed. Wake up, that wicked witch is dead. She's gone where the goblins go, below, below, below. Yo ho, let's open up and sing and ring, ding dong of a merry o. Sing it high and sing it low. Oh, let them know the wicked witch is dead. She's really dead. She's dead. 'Cause one fine day from Kansas way, a cyclone brought a house that caught the wicked, wicked witch on her head, on her head. So let the joyous news be spread. She's gone where the goblins go. Below, below, let's open up and shout. Oh, let's shout out loud. Let's shout out loud. Ding dong dong and my oh my. Sing it low, sing it high. Tell them all that the wicked witch, witch, old witch, that wicked witch. Let them know the wicked witch is dead. Joyous times ahead. She's dead. There's no more sorrow and dread. Let the news be spread. The wicked witch is dead.
Thank you very much. Hey, I want to take a moment to acknowledge a special presentation we did last night at last night's show. It's for the Jim Miller Award, Heart of a Champion Award, which we instituted 2 years ago to honor Jim Miller, who we lost in 2011. He was the director of our last gold medal effort and our director emeritus, and just a great leader of men with a heart as big as gold. And the award was presented to a man in our chorus who's been inspirational with us for over 30 years. And you have seen his creative talents and his warped sense of humor for quite a few years. He's been the writer and director of all our shows for over 20 years, and that's Gary Ellehorst.
Very, very well deserved, Gary, too. That was great. So, just real quick, we want to acknowledge some of our quartets, or actually everybody that was in a quartet. Raise your hand that was singing in the first half. That's great, having that many quartets. Yep. I just, you know, there's something for everybody in the program, and just for those people that are always looking for a mistake, we did have one. And it's the Back in Business quartet that sang. They're not actually called the Jim Fry Singers, although if you ask any member of the quartet, Jim actually thinks they're called the Jim Fry Singers. But they're actually called State Route 4, so State Route 4. Good job. All right, so we want to acknowledge our special guests that were out here. Mike Bell, I don't know if he's back on stage, but he can come on out if he is. If not, okay. And Tom Rouse. Oh, there's Mikey. Come on out, Mikey, as Elvis. This is what Elvis looks like without the makeup. Tom Rouse as Amelia Earhart, and also where's Jim at? Jim as, he's buried in there as Jimmy Hoffa. So, it was good. All right, stay with me. All right, and let's bring out our special guest, Vocal Spectrum. We'd like to say a special thank you to McAuley High School for letting us use the theater here. It's a great, great facility. And also for Nick and Amy for running the soundboard and the lights. Great job, guys, up there. It was great. So, again, thank you very much. And also recognize our two assistant directors, Paul Coleman and Paul Gilman. Where are you? And our director, Jim again. Jeff Letkers, not his father, but the son. Thank you all very much, and just remember to keep a smile on your face, keep a song in your heart. Thank you.
Thank you, Troy. Before we start this last song for you, there is someone that we'd like to recognize who has a birthday today. We would like your help in wishing him a very happy birthday. This is a person that we are huge fans of, and I expect if you weren't before, after today, you are too, and that's Tim Warwick.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Tim. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you very much. We'd like to leave you with a very popular song that pays tribute to this great country that we have.
If tomorrow all the things were gone, I'd work for all my life. If I had to start again with just my children and my wife, I'd thank the lucky stars to be living here today. 'Cause the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away.
And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA.
From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston, from New York to LA. Well, there's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say
that I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. God bless the USA. God bless the Now a man don't mind if the star grows dim.